A lot has been said about the African leaders and how most of them have actually become puppets of the Western world. They do not challenge anything that comes from the Western countries, but they simply accept everything as it is, except a few like the Zimbabwean late former President Robert Gabriel Mugabe. However, people have continued to ask why African leaders have done nothing to solve the deplorable situation in Africa. Dr. Arikana Chihombori has shedded more light in that aspect, saying that African leaders have actually done something, but it resulted in most of them being assassinated. She mentioned the countries that were actually behind the assassination of those African leaders, and she also mentioned how the Western world is currently influencing the African countries so that they can remain in those deplorable situations. But guys, before we delve into all the details of the things that she has actually said, welcome to my channel. This is me, your girl Excellent Being. If you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below so that you will not miss any of the things that are happening around the world. But if you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your unwavering support. So guys, Dr. Arikana Chihombori was actually an ambassador of the AU to the US before she was sacked after exposing Western plans against Africa. She has, however, not stopped exposing those plans, and in one of her presentations, she actually says that the first 7 leaders that decided to stand against the Western countries, that decided to pull out of the CFA and print out their own country, were actually assassinated. She says every time an African leader decided to do what was best for their country, they were actually assassinated, and those mercenaries that were behind the assassinations were actually aided by France. Now she says the missionaries themselves, what they would do, they would every time that they discovered a valuable natural resource in an African country, they would try to set a plan. They would actually set a plan to drive a coup in that country or to drive the nation into a civil war, so that when the people are focusing on actually fighting against each other, they will be siphoning out the natural resource itself. One of those instances involved a group of young wives who were in South Africa some years back, and they discovered that there was oil in Equatorial Guinea and that they actually wanted the oil for themselves. What they did is that they set out a plan to have a coup in the nation of Equatorial Guinea, and in implementing their plan, they decided that they were going to have 2 planes, one which was going to leave with the puppet president, and the other one which was going to leave from South Africa and land in Zimbabwe, where it was going to collect more ammunition for what they gave an excuse that they were actually going to Equatorial Guinea for a hunt. Now what happened is that by then the president of Zimbabwe was the late former president Robert Gabriel Mugabe, and he wondered why such young people would actually need that powerful ammunition for a hunt, for whatever type of hunt that they were actually requesting for. And in doing his research, he discovered that this was a coup in the making. What he did was that what President Robert Gabriel Mugabe did was that he allowed them to land in Zimbabwe, and when they landed, he allowed them also to fill out their plan, their plane, to load whatever they were loading in their plane. But before taking off, before that plane took off, he arrested them all. So it was discovered that the ringleader of that group was actually the son of the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Margaret Thatcher. And after the arrest, she had to fly to Zimbabwe, where she actually paid handsomely to get her son out. Now, if the plan had succeeded, let's say the plan had actually succeeded, everybody in the world actually would have said, there they go again, those Africans, with another coup. So Dr. Arikana Chihombori says that the picture would have been portrayed as if the Africans are actually barbaric and they cannot manage themselves, they cannot manage their politics, when as yet the real force behind was the Western guys that were behind the commotion in that country, so that they can actually siphon out the oil that was in that country. So she says such is the story of Africa, and nowadays they are no longer doing those coups. What they are doing is that they are driving the countries to actually have civil wars, so that they can continue to siphon whatever resource or whatever natural resource that they will be requesting. What they do is that they promote instability in such countries, and as those things will be going on, they will be siphoning out the resources. She says that Africans have actually become instruments of their self-destructions in the hands of the Western.